Most of us have seen Disney and Pixar classics like The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast and Toy Story more times in our lives than we could count. With many of those movies we grew up with, they'd then return to screens as a Christmas special, or we'd put them on for our own kids in a bid to share that sweet sense of nostalgia. We turned into adults, but our love for Disney stays. So, for the Disney fanatics like us, we have some incredible Easter eggs, hidden gems and tiny details you might have missed while watching your favourite movies. And these specific details only occur to us when we watch the movies again to see what has been going over our heads as kids. Let's get into it. Number 1. Coco. Pixar's Coco is full of minor focuses and Easter eggs that enrich the plot and viewing experience, but it also features a hidden and shocking Easter egg that is meant towards a more mature audience, and its presence in this story seems a bit odd. When Miguel is being taken to the Land of the Dead's border to be returned to the Land of the Living, the camera quickly pans over the people waiting in line. Some of them are bringing churros, others are bringing gifts, but one skeleton appears to be in the middle of a shady transaction while waiting in line. This skeleton surprisingly resembles the Colombian drug kingpin Pablo Escobar, and is even shown covertly passing a little item to another skeleton, while they both look about to ensure no one else is looking. What could possibly be the reason for including this in a children's movie? You tell me. There is also a possibility that the skeleton was representing El Chapo Guzman, the notorious Mexican drug lord, but he is still alive and imprisoned in the US, so portraying him as a skeleton would be strange. Next to that, the Day of the Dead is a Mexican tradition and isn't celebrated in Colombia, where Escobar was from. Number 2. Toy Story. Sid is a troubled kid known for destroying toys, often playing surgeon and attaching doll heads onto robots or zombie hands onto Jack-in-the-Boxes. He makes some very clever creations, but one of them hints to a more mature and adult audience, but you have to think it through before seeing it. That is obviously a pretty daunting task, since it is a kids' movie. Why on earth would you think of any mature references here? Now, there is a hooker in Toy Story, and it might not be what you think. Or it actually does when you think about it, but not in a way. The toy doctor Sid attached a fishing rod to 2 legs of a Barbie doll. The toy is referred to as Legs. This toy most likely went over the heads of its viewers as being a hooker, a fishing rod that is attached to 2 long bare legs. Well, I don't think I need to explain an awful lot more than that to tickle your imagination further. Number 3. Cars. Just like Toy Story, Cars can be a movie which we'll love no matter what age we are. It follows the story of Lightning McQueen, a young hotshot race car. It takes place in a world populated entirely by anthropomorphic cars. Throughout the movie, Lightning goes through a transformation as he forms new bonds and becomes a part of the Radiator Springs community, a local town he comes by when separated from his team. He begins to appreciate the charm and character of the town and its residents, and he learns that there is more to life than just winning races. In the end, Lightning McQueen discovers what truly matters and finds a deeper sense of purpose beyond racing. In his relentless pursuit to winning races and being the best, he gains a large amount of popularity, and leave it to the Pixar studios to make reference to an adult pun. There is a scene in the movie where there are 2 female cars riding up to McQueen called Mia and Tia. They are hysterically telling him how they both are his biggest fan and can be seen flashing their headlights to him, after which McQueen has a smirk on his face, clearly satisfied with this perk of being famous. Mia and Tia are quickly removed by the security cars, but as I clearly do not have to tell you what flashing means, them showing their lights has a lot of resemblance to hysterical female human fans that want to grab the attention of their idols. This is not the only reference, as the Cars movies are also filled with tiny details for a more mature audience. Number 4. Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 isn't very subtle when it comes to their Easter eggs. I'm trying hard not to make this video solely based on that movie alone. This scene revolves around Buzz Lightyear and Jessie, the female counterpart of Woody. The word Woody on itself would be a reference to the exact same thing I'm going to refer to right now, to make it a bit more obvious where I'm going with this. Jessie is obviously meant for Woody, but Buzz seems to be blown away by her as well. There is a scene where Jessie performs a stunt, and Buzz Lightyear can be seen being aroused by it. Not in the most literal sense, of course, as he has his suit on and has no ability to show it, but instead the animation team has thought of something clever. It seems they really went out of their way to make Buzz express his fondness. Let's have a look. Yup, his wings pop out without him pushing on the button. Again, I don't think I have to explain to us adults what's going on here. Number 5. Ratatouille. This movie is filled with tiny adult references that will mostly go over the heads of kids that watch it. It all happens so quickly that most adults wouldn't think much of it. But actually, there are multiple occasions in which Chef Linguini can be seen making an embarrassment out of himself while referring to what kids simply won't understand. The first one is when the rat Remy is being stuffed in the pants of Chef Linguini, which in itself was a bit of an adult reference, as Remy looks horrified when he understands where he must hide. Linguini is eventually explaining to his fellow cook, Colette, that he has a little helper, and this is what he says.
A tiny chef who tells me what to do.
A tiny chef.
The hand gestures and the uncomfortable look on Colette's face, yeah, I would be looking strange too, and it doesn't leave much to the imagination, as I'm sure you'll understand where Colette is thinking about, clearly in doubt of what to make of it. Of course, Chef Linguini is absolutely unaware of the ambiguity of his conversation with her, which is a tone throughout most of his conversations, but he saves himself out of it by being forced by Remy to kiss her, and she goes along with it. Later on in the movie, a customer of the restaurant can be heard saying, "If I don't love it, I don't swallow." Don't believe me? Let's have a look.
If I don't love it, I don't swallow.
It seems like a far stretch, but at this point, are you really surprised? Me neither. Well, these were 5 Pixar and Disney movies with adult references in that you might have missed, with some ambiguous explanation to keep it semi-PG rated, and of course satisfy the YouTube policies. I hope you liked it and thank you for watching. See you all in another video, and please consider subscribing to never miss a new video.